A third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
And welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and guys, it has been an active afternoon with several thunderstorms rolling through North Mississippi, keeping us on the soggy side, but fortunately keeping those temperatures at bay. So the good thing with our forecast is rain chances do taper off. Folks wanting that drier weather, there are some good news moving forward, but there are also some other factors we have to put in place, and that's that those temperatures, they're going to be on the climb. So just give and take forecast, we're giving up the cooler, wetter conditions for more of a dry but hot forecast. And honestly, guys, what's the matter? Well, that's just a pun, a play on words, because what we're going to be doing is talking to our chief meteorologist, Matt Laubon, out in the field there in Canada right now, giving us updates of what he's seeing. So we'll figure out what's the matter coming up here in just a few minutes. All the reason to stay tuned tonight at 6. And we thank you again for joining us here at the Room to Room Weather Center, walking through exactly what to expect with your forecast if you're traveling to Canada or if you're right here in North Mississippi. Starting our evening, starting our show with a great look outside there towards the Aberdeen area. 81 degrees right now, so that rain cooled air in full force. But we are getting a few shots of those showers and storms moving right over the top there of Aberdeen and Monroe County. Now, that's been an active hotspot so far this late afternoon, early evening time frame. Early afternoon, those storms were a little bit more north, and that's where we're getting a much more active pattern. Now, Caledonia getting some shots as well. This is looking northeast towards Soligent, and we are getting a shot of Hello Bug. Ooh, that made me jump. I didn't even think there was a screen there guarding me. Oh man, okay, gotta calm down. It's like right there. I have every excuse to jump at that. I feel like everyone else would too. But looking at the cloud cover, that is just a part of another pretty significant or pretty decent rainfall outputs on a few of those storms. That's really what we're watching. Praise God, we're away from this wash. That was overwhelming to be a part of. This is really what we're taking a look at. It's over there towards Lamar County and Marion County there towards Alabama. We're seeing that right over I-22. So if you're traveling east out of Tupelo or Fulton towards Birmingham, that's what we're seeing. And so far, not seeing anything in regards to anything significant for wind-wise, but we are seeing some heavy rainfall out of this. Now, this is something to just look for how strong those winds are, and we're not coming in with anything overly significant. I want to do straight wind mode and then do populate a few of those numbers. I mean, on those heaviest batches, 15 to 20 miles an hour. So not overly significant for high wind output, but definitely heavy rainfall, as we'll see here in a moment. Let's just go through really what's happening, how this is trending. And what this is doing is following that same boundary that goes south and west, just continuing to back build further. So storms that happened over in Amory are getting more storms in that same general area. So Aberdeen to Amory that we saw earlier, still getting more of that moisture. But these storms over towards Monroe County earlier, just basically setting the scene for another active system rolling in behind it. These start to get a little bit of a C shape to it, showing that there is just a little bit of shear in the environment that's trying to lift some of these storms. But overall, we're not seeing anything in regards to severe threats, tornadic threats. That's a great sign. So just those typical afternoon showers. But as many folks here in Lee County, Prentiss County, or really anywhere in North Mississippi would tell you, that energy is very much evident on a lot of those storms as they roll across North Mississippi. So looking at the now, what are we seeing? Well, so far it's just those storms over there towards Lamar County, Marion County, a few more storms down there towards Noxubee and Winston County, but overall, way less significant than what we're seeing towards Lamar and Marion. So looking at those showers, let's go ahead and just put a storm track on this as they move north and east just a bit. We're going to do it on those heaviest portions. So extending this out at about, I would say 15 to 20 miles an hour. So we'll do a middle ground right there. We're talking about Crawford there towards 643, doing one more storm track on this. And this is going to be that back part moving, apologies there. Moving this at about 15 to 20 miles an hour as well. So there you draw it out, 18 triplets corners by about 606. And then on there towards Lynn Creek and Brooksville, where you're going to be getting this rainfall wrapping around. So folks in Brooksville, you're just starting your rainfall, but more than likely going to linger for a decent while. I forgot to do this, but let's go ahead and jump back to the storm there towards Marion County, because I do want to put a storm track on that and just kind of walk through this heaviest portion. So as we take a look at the trend over the last hour, you can see how these are moving in that, there we go, in that east, kind of southeast direction, really just a kind of a straight east as that continues to build further into Lamar and Marion County. Doing the now, and we'll do a storm track on that leading edge, especially this one right here. We're talking about, there we go, we're going to drag it out. This is moving a bit faster. So we're talking 20 miles an hour. Brookside, 622, Rock City by 629. Clearing that out and going one storm behind there towards Beaverton. Now that heaviest portion, bear with me one moment. We're seeing some high storm tops on a few of these showers, and that's producing heavy rainfall. So the heaviest portion going to be just north of Beaverton along Highway 6, but there's Gwynn 631, Winfield 642, Tucker closer to 649, and then this one back behind it. And then this will be kind of the last of our most significant showers and storms. So there you go at about 20 miles an hour. We're talking Soligent 612, Cruz 622, and Beaverton. We mentioned that this is back building just a bit. Beaverton closer to about 634. So you're not done with the rainfall just yet. You're getting another decent shower and decent thunderstorm. As you can see, a few lightning strikes with that, trying to make their way into Beaverton. So this has been an active afternoon, but this is not unexpected. We were talking all about this heading into our Saturday. So yeah, it's just been a good summer thunderstorm. A good, nice little shower for a lot of farmers out there. I know they've been needing some rainfall. We were talking about the most significant threats with these storms out in Gwynn, there towards Marion, and Lamar County in Alabama. Half-inch hail could be expected because of those high storm tops, but more than likely a lot of that melting before it reaches the ground, but heavy droplets are expected if you're getting that high of storm tops. So that's what we're expecting with those Lamar and Marion County storms. Amory showing about a quarter of an inch to a half inch an hour on the heaviest portions of that shower. And down here towards Brooksville, we're getting up to 1 to 2 inches an hour. So some heavier outputs coming from a lot of these storms just because of how tall the storm tops get. Heavy raindrops, or large raindrops, should I say, falling in a heavy fashion. That's where we really start to pick up in intensity just a bit. Now this one back there towards Chula and Greenwood, we're getting about 1 to 2 inches as well, despite that not being as electric as some of these storms we're seeing out there towards the state line. Rainfall totals, though, that has been the story. Taking a look, I mean, the Maynor household got a drenching today. I just asked my dog. He decided, I opened the door and he decided to bolt out, and he came back after being outside for about 10 seconds, drenched, and I think he is still dripping as of this point. So, and that was about 3 hours ago. So shout out Bailey. Thank you very much for making us have to go outside. But looking at Saltillo, 1.7 inches expected right there. Over towards Franklin County, an inch and a quarter. An inch all the way there towards Tippah County, Alcorn County, an inch and a quarter. So basically I could click anywhere in that green and we're getting about an inch to an inch and a quarter. Back towards Chula, we're getting an inch and a quarter as well. So a consistent pattern, but a pretty heavy downpour pattern across northeast Mississippi primarily, but even just north of Mississippi in its entirety, with a lot of those showers back towards 55 producing some heavy outputs as well. So over the next 12, what are we watching? Well, those isolated showers do stick around into 7, 8 o'clock before tapering off into the overnight hours. So overnight, not expecting nearly the same threats. You're not going to be waking up to rumbles of thunder like my wife did. You're more than likely waking up to dry conditions across North Mississippi. We see that towards 7 a.m. with a lot of that sun still shining despite the active pattern that it has been. Sunday is going to be much drier and much calmer for its entirety. And the reason why, this is just remnants of that low pressure center that has lingered over North Mississippi for a good while now, probably about 36 to 48 hours. This frontal boundary going to push a lot of that moisture away. So as you can see with it moving in that northeast direction, it's going to carry a lot of this moisture. But I do want to zoom back in to just Mississippi in its entirety, and you can see some of these storms that are happening back there towards Yazoo City, all the way southwest into Monroe, Louisiana. Those are moving north and east, so we will expect a few of those to at least try to move into Attala, Winston, and Noxubee County. I know the northern half of our viewing area got the threat this morning and this early afternoon. Our southern half starting to get it towards the late hours. That's that isolated chances that do stick around. Once that sun sets, though, a lot of this activity that's showing reds and oranges that are heavier rainfall outputs and a lot of lightning, those will start to weaken as well. So not expecting heightened rainfall chances, but we're not fully in the clear until that sun does set and that boundary kind of clears on out. So there you see those storms on Futurecast by about 8:30. Watch over time how these just weaken into a moderate rainfall, then into a light rainfall by 10, and really struggling to reach as far north as Attala County. Now, I do expect Attala, Winston to be getting at least a few isolated showers, but I say showers, not storms, because I do not expect it to be anything significant for our Saturday night. So Saturday night plans, if you're looking to head out and about, have an umbrella on standby, but more than likely not going to need it with how dry that pattern is. So into the 3 o'clock hour on our Sunday morning, still staying on the drier side, and even into the start of our Sunday. I mean, you're waking up, heading to church with great conditions, cloud cover blanketing the sky, so those temperatures are going to be a few degrees above average, but towards the afternoon, I mean, all of it's going to be above average. The heat, it's coming back with some vengeance. So just buckle up, but do enjoy the dry weather that we have for our Sunday, at least for the most part. We are tracking a few isolated showers that do try to develop by the mid to late afternoon. Seeing those chances 3 to about 9 p.m., that 20% chance is there, so not nearly as much coverage, but we are tracking at least a few isolated showers that do try to form in an isolated area here in North Mississippi. Some folks getting luckier than others, but that luckiness is the word we're going to use. The luckiness comes at a cost, and that will be the thing we track coming up here in the next 60, just basically who stays dry for Sunday, what the dry weather means this next week, an updated look at rain chances, because those rain chances might provide some life-saving relief. I'm saying life-saving because temperatures were abysmal yesterday evening, but the good thing with the rain chances picking up is we do see those drop just a bit. That all coming up in the next 60. We'll also hear from Chief Meteorologist Matt Laubon coming up in just a few minutes after that. So walking you through everything, seeing what's the matter here in Mississippi too. All of that coming up in the next minute.
I was made for this. Crawling through the muck to find where the real problems hide.
All this dampness, it's perfect for mold, and that can mean headaches, rashes, even chronic illness for your family.
That's why we offer our Healthy Home 7-point mold inspection to restore your health by restoring your home.
Focusing on water and mold control from the crawl space to the roof, you can call Absolute Restoration, your local and trusted restoration contractor.
Your family deserves the most beautiful smile possible. At Tupelo Smiles, we use precision dentistry and advanced technology to make visiting the dentist an amazing experience. Relationship-based comprehensive care. Come discover the difference at Tupelo Smiles.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The Health Class Film Guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping. Got a few minutes? You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
I know a lot of folks here in North Mississippi aren't a fan of the rainfall, but there are others. There's a 50-50 split that we were talking about a couple weeks ago of folks that enjoy the rainfall and folks that don't. But either way, today, as long as your dog didn't take you out in the rainfall like mine did, I think you had a great day all the way around with those scattered showers just cycling through the area. And the reason why is because that rain-cooled air kept those temperatures at bay and was not a miserable day whatsoever. Looking at our Mississippi Live Weather radar, a lot of those showers transitioning into Lamar and Marion County, a few of those trying to pick up there towards Noxubee County, and that one out there towards Chula going to produce some significant rainfall. About 2 inches an hour are the rain rates right now before transitioning more towards Carroll County and then Montgomery County here in the next few hours. So watching those primary threats, but above all else, I mean, we've stayed dry north of Highway 6 aside from mid-afternoon. Once those showers did clear out, we've seen much drier conditions through this evening. So if you're north of Highway 6 and have any Saturday night plans, more than likely staying on the drier side with a lot of those chances pushed further south, especially south of 22 and south of 82, really. But looking at our Mississippi Live Weather Radar and just expanding things out, we talked about these showers that are trying to develop there towards Jackson and Yazoo City. As that moves north and east, and you can see that on these storms, this storm track, you can see it just tracking little by little in that northeast direction, at least a few of these. We're seeing that one towards Tula, but this one down in Yazoo City trying to make its way towards Kosciuszko and Louisville. Will it make it? Well, that's the golden question. And with sunset happening in a little over an hour, it's going to be an uphill battle, but definitely possible. So have that rain gear ready if you're south of Highway 82 as those showers do try to pick up. I want to say in the grand scheme of things, this is not a bad forecast whatsoever because a lot of the active weather has been out there towards Virginia and North Carolina and even out there towards Nebraska. I mean, we're talking about severe thunderstorm warnings that were issued with life-threatening lightning. And we saw some lightning here in Tupelo, but we never got a severe thunderstorm warning saying life-threatening lightning. So while that's not a severe weather parameter, putting that on a warning just shows how electric those skies are. So we'll count our blessings here in North Mississippi that we don't have that environment, but we did see an active pattern nonetheless. The severe weather risk sticks with a level 2 over there in those same general areas and up there towards Nebraska as well. Here in North Mississippi, I mean, that severe weather risk gets as close as southern Kentucky to North Mississippi. So we're staying on the calmer side in the grand scheme of things, but the wetter side with more of those showers possible into the rest of our evening. Here's a look at high temperatures today, and this is why I said it was a great forecast. 83 degrees as a high temperature in Tupelo, 83 towards Red Bay, 82 Iuka. I mean, that is just, you couldn't even dream of these temperatures. So that rain-cold air definitely doing us some justice temperature-wise and keeping us cooler for our Saturday. And temperatures right now still on that same side. We're talking upper 70s in Starkville at 6 p.m. is amazing. And I know folks down in Oktibbeha County are enjoying that, but they do have to enjoy it with their rain gear ready because a lot of that is attributed to those showers. So as we head into the rest of the night, those temperatures do start to drop. We're dropping all the way into the mid-70s towards tomorrow morning. Normal low, it's 73. So we're going to be right around average, maybe a degree or two above that, but it's because of that cloud cover and that rain-cold air that keeps those temperatures a little bit warmer than what they should be overnight. But honestly, it's not going to be too much different than where we sit right now. That rain-cold air did that much to our temperatures. So day planner ahead shows those dry conditions in place with mid-70s as we head towards that 3 to 7 o'clock hour. So enjoy it. Early commuters for church. I know my dad's a pastor, so he leaves at about 6, 7 a.m. It's not a bad forecast for you back in Birmingham there. So enjoy it. Just soak in the drier weather while we have it because it has just been an active pattern this afternoon. So all of those do taper off into the rest of our evening. 10 p.m. light to moderate showers still sticking around, but into the late hours of our Saturday and early hours of our Sunday. Very early hours of our Sunday, drier side. So you're not going to be like my wife, like I mentioned, waking up to a rumble of thunder. All of North Mississippi stays dry overnight with just a little bit of cloud cover for your morning commute for all the pastors out there. But those low temperatures, mid-70s, still pretty comfortable across the region, but it is still a degree or two warmer than where we typically be at this time of year. As Futurecast goes through the rest of the day and really into the late morning, early afternoon, at least a few showers do try to develop. So if you're heading to any lunch plants, make sure to have that rain gear ready because you can see they're trying. They're not as widespread and they're not as significant as what we had today, but a few light showers can't be ruled out for Tate, Tunica, DeSoto, Marshall, Benton County. Further into the afternoon, those do get a little bit more widespread and a little bit more significant. We're seeing down there towards Caledonia having a moderate shower and just across the Tennessee state line trying to produce some moderate showers, but it's really going to be this threshold and it's going to be a diagonal line across North Mississippi that we're watching. So the further south and west you are, the drier the forecast is. But the further north and east you are, the higher your chances are to at least see some form of rainfall through our Sunday. Sunday evening, showing at least a few showers trying to form a little bit more south of that point. But that diagonal line is a pretty good signifier of where those showers do form. I know it's not really a meteorological tool, but at my hand, that was basically the boundary right there. So high temperatures for your Sunday with that drier weather in place. And this is why I said I hope you enjoyed the temperatures today because come tomorrow, we're already back into the mid-90s with those temperatures climbing and climbing pretty significantly as the week goes on. Heat indices, triple digits across the region. Would not be surprised to see, similar to what we saw this morning with a few heat advisories be issued. We're talking folks in Tunica, Clarksdale towards Coahoma County, and Panola County, possibly getting as far east as I-55, watching for the threat of more heat advisories to be issued for tomorrow afternoon. But where it's dry, it's hot, and that's the trade-off that we're going to be getting. So Sunday night sees a lot of that cloud cover and a lot of that moisture taper off, and we're going to be in a much calmer pattern moving into our Monday. So Monday morning, waking up, heading out the door, it should be a great sunrise. I expect pictures on Mississippi Live Weather that morning because of how great that sunrise will be with clear skies across the region. As the day goes on, maybe a few clouds here and there, but overall that drier and calmer pattern keeps some moisture away for the most part. A few isolated showers try to form by early afternoon on our Monday, so we keep about a 10 to 20% chance for our Monday afternoon. Not exactly significant coverage, but just enough coverage to have an umbrella on standby. Towards the Towards the 10 o'clock hour, we do see those dry conditions back in place, and by the time we get towards the early hours of our Tuesday, take a look at how clear it is across the region. So luckily with that drier forecast comes plenty of sunshine, but plenty of warmer weather. And already by our Monday afternoon, seeing those temperatures bump up a degree or two. 97 Greenwood and Belzoni, you see on the bottom left of your screen, 95 New Albany and Tupelo, and 94 around Amory. So we're climbing, and we're climbing significantly, and it does not end on your Monday afternoon. It actually continues into your Tuesday, your Wednesday, and possibly even into your Thursday. Heat indices, you can see right here, triple digits. I mean, you're going to get it for your Monday afternoon. Rain cooled air could help, but really what it's doing is it's adding to the stickiness. So our heat indices might even be a bit higher once those showers do happen, because it adds that stickiness value and makes these heat indices climb, being that this is a measurement of temperature and moisture in the atmosphere. So showers honestly going to do more bad than good whenever they're as isolated as they're expected for our Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, we talk about that uphill climb. 97 degrees, which with the 97, it was 98 yesterday, so 97 becoming a little bit cooler, a degree cooler, and we'll take that. But the reason why is because there is a chance at a few isolated showers that try to keep the temperatures towards the afternoon a little bit more seasonable, should I say. But still with those heat indices, just with that moisture in the air, Tuesday and Wednesday, honestly, Monday through Friday, let's take it that range. We're talking 105 plus for all of North Mississippi. Heat advisories and possible heat warnings being issued, especially by midweek. It's a time to stay hydrated, and it's a time to stay cool. And frequent breaks from the outside are going to be essential as we head into the work week ahead. So make sure to have a bottle of water on standby. I have one with me all the time here around this time of year, just to be on the safe side and stay overly hydrated. There's no such thing as overly hydrated in summer. But you're seeing a difference from yesterday's forecast to tonight. And the reason why is because 20% coverage is in the forecast each and every day this week. And what we're watching for is a few days that do climb in percentages, Wednesday in particular, and that's going to drop those temperatures to maybe even 96 for our afternoon highs. So watching that trend down if moisture continues to trend up, and that'll be a good thing for the extended forecast. I do want to say Saturday, it's going to be interesting, and we're talking about some more tropical development, at least trying to develop. And we'll walk through that coming up here in the next 60 of just what to expect with that tropical system. Will it verify? Because as of right now, only one of the models are showing it as significant as we're expecting for Saturday. So that's why chances right now remain at 30%. It could be on the climb. It also could be on the decline, being that it is 7 days out and it's expected to change. So we'll walk through that, what atmospheric features are in place and what's going to drive our heat this week. All of that coming up in the next 60. And also, you'll find out what's the matter coming up right here on Mississippi Live Weather in the next 60.
At Room to Room, did you know our specialty is custom ordered upholstery? Get the furniture you want and the fabric and color selection you want. With our free design service, we won't let you make a mistake.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey there from Jasper, Canada. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon from Mississippi Live Weather. You can see the mix of clouds that we have here on kind of this cool beginning to the day. I'm recording this earlier because we are going to be doing something extra special today. We are going to be taking a train ride through the Rockies, a Via Rail train. You know, that train you see behind me dates back to the 1950s, believe it or not. Has been refurbished since then, but certainly is kind of a cool experience. We're going to be not just riding the train today, but we're going to be riding it all night tonight. And that means we get to actually sleep in the train. We'll find out whether or not that's a good thing as we get a little closer. Of course, Jasper, Canada, as far north as we're going to go on this excursion. Some beautiful vistas, of course. clouded once again. Talking to the folks up here, it's not usually quite as cloudy as it's been the last couple of days. And rainfall is something that's important in this region because it tends to be very wildfire prone. Jasper hit by a devastating wildfire in this national park area for just miles and miles around. You might not be able to get a great look at it, but a lot of that black you see on the mountains there, is damage due to last year's devastating wildfires that also ended up hitting part of the town. One of the reasons for that, pine beetle damage, believe it or not, killed tons and tons of trees. One of the issues coming back to climate change, because it has to be cold enough below zero for 3 weeks in order to kill the pine beetles. With climate change, that just hasn't happened as much recently, unfortunately, and so the pine beetles have been out of control, killing in some cases more than half of the different evergreen trees within the forest up here. But we're going to be riding, of course, that train. Excited to do that all night tonight. There's not going to be a lot of internet access, so I wanted to get you a video before we lose that ability. But coming to you from up here in Jasper, Canada, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lopon. Beautiful town for Mississippi Live Weather.
Well, hopefully that cloud cover does clear up for you up in Canada, Matt, but hopefully the cloud cover clears up for us here in North Mississippi. We had our active day. Let's enjoy some of that sunny skies as we wrap up, for some people, our summer vacation. But starting with Weather Watcher pictures, and you guys showed out once again today with a lot of that activity moving through the northern part of our viewing area. I do want to say, with more shower activity through the evening and some electric showers, I do expect some pictures as we head further into our evening. Submit those Mississippi Live Weather app. Easy to do so. Go to the side, put your name down, and put the time and the date, and also where it happened, of course. And we'll be able to show that on our Weather Watcher pictures coming up tonight at 10. If you want to be a part of that, submit those pictures. We appreciate it very much. This one submitted by Madison in Tupelo, and I know what you're thinking. It looks much scarier than what it is. This is what we would call an SLC, a non-meteorological term that we have made up here at Mississippi Live Weather. That's basically a scary looking cloud, SLC. So what it is it's scud cloud that develops just a little bit below where that main cloud base is. So of course it looks scarier than what it is, but there's no rotation associated with it. Just a little bit of a drop in that cloud cover that makes it look scarier than what it is. So big thank you to Madison. Hope it didn't scare you too bad. And for any folks that did see it here in Tupelo, I hope you just were able to shrug that off as a bunch of nothing. But looking at Pontotoc, I mean, this was a sight. The wall of rain that's just moving across, I believe this was Highway 15. They're submitted by Haley. I don't even want to imagine what it was like driving through that, but I know that it was a downpour, probably tough to see. So this is why we say whenever it's a downpour like this, wait a couple of minutes, let it cycle on through, and then get back on the roadway. So Haley, I hope that you did exactly that. But a big thank you to submitting this picture. And there's a little bit of a shelf cloud there too. So definitely some significant showers and storms across North Mississippi. Dana and Baldwin just submitting more of that active system that moved through North Mississippi earlier this afternoon. This produced thunder at the Maynard household that was shaking the walls. One of those struck less than a mile from the house, and it was immediate just like that. So, so far I believe everyone's okay and everything is okay, but it was an energetic storm for sure. So I hope that everyone made it out okay. I hope that it just gave you a good, nice afternoon shower that watered everything you needed watered, so that way you didn't have to go out and do that this evening. Now let's take a look at the jet stream, because the jet stream is really how we predict what's going to happen meteorologically over the next coming days. This is the upper atmosphere, way, way high up in the atmosphere. So what we see right here is, of course, a lot of the activity happening and remaining around the northern part of the United States, Minneapolis, Chicago, Buffalo. You're seeing a lot of that driving our weather patterns. There's that last little bit of moisture I do want to say that's moving into Texas. That's some of that precipitation. But watch what happens early part of the week. By Monday, you're noticing our wind shift just a bit. Still some isolated showers that do try to develop, but watch how it enters more of this clockwise fashion. And this is going to be a ridge of high pressure that develops, especially by your Tuesday. Take a look at how it basically rises and then falls on the other side of the United States. We're in this ridge, and this ridge is typically associated with drier weather, but also extreme heat. And that's what we're going to be getting, especially by Tuesday and really towards Wednesday. And you can see that right here, those circles that do try to develop, that clockwise motion driving a large portion of our forecast. But pay attention beyond this, because while we see the drier conditions and hotter temperatures, we are watching another thing in the pattern heading into the next few days, and that's this system that does try to develop right off the coast of Florida there by your Thursday evening. That tries to circulate just a bit of moisture there towards the Gulf areas that have received enough moisture the past couple of days. Ask anyone that went to the beach the past few days. But by Friday into Saturday, some of those bands of that counterclockwise motion do try to get into North Mississippi. I'm not expecting a major storm. I'm not even expecting this to be a named storm at this point, but definitely interesting that models are trying to forecast something moving moving through the Gulf that would try to develop a little bit of showers into North Mississippi. But with it being 7 days out, a lot can happen. And so if that tries to move inland at any point, it's just going to produce a lot of showers here throughout the southeast United States. But still, a lot of questions remain. This is just something that models have picked up on that I wanted to talk to you guys in the extended forecast that we are watching for. So that 30% on Saturday, take it with a grain of salt, because there is a lot riding on that 30% that we'll really notice in model trends over the next several days. So paying attention to that in the Gulf, once again, Gulf staying active, right? It's that time of year. So day planner tonight, no Gulf moisture is expected. A lot of those showers do taper off, and we're going to see those temperatures be right around what we'd expect them to be at, a slightly cooler trend, and we'll take every second of that while we can. 84 by 7, 79 by 10, and 77 closer to 1 a.m. So any late night plans, have an umbrella on standby just in case, but more than likely for a good portion of North Mississippi, staying on the drier side. Hopefully won't need it, and hopefully you still get all those plans done that you need to get done. So this will about do it for Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I hope you guys have had a great afternoon. I hope you will have a great evening, and join us tonight for Mississippi Live Weather at 10, walking through the latest on that extended forecast. Hopefully the temperatures don't change too much in the higher direction, but we'll see that in more detail. And of course, walking through those rain chances, just what to expect heading into your Sunday and into the work week ahead. All of that coming up right here on Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy